understand that every company does adjusting differently, so you have to be adaptive. Do I want to have longevity with this, or am I trying to make a quick buck?
I live in X city and looking for somebody within 10 minutes of me to do a ride along with.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
You guys ever wonder what kind of creature Grimace from McDonald's is? No, just me?
There's only one company that provides E&O and general liability insurance solely to the claims industry, and that's Kaplik. They even have drone and cyber coverages. Download the free guide all about the different kinds of insurance that you, as the adjuster, should carry at cplic.net/adjustertv. So, Mr. Doug Hubby, how are you doing today?
Doing well, Mr. Matt Allen.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm really glad you came up. It's really nice to have people in the studio. Let's talk really quick here. What does the modern role of the independent property adjuster look like today, just kind of broadly speaking?
So the modern adjuster, that's a good question. It has changed a lot over the years. So you have different segments of specialty within the space. You have adjusters that handle claims beginning to end. You don't see as much of that. In the broad scheme of things, you see more task assignments. You go out and do the appraisal. You might write it to coverage. You may not. You may just say, hey, we find all the damage and submit a file.
Right.
So the scope of the way we do claims over the last 15 years has changed pretty dramatically. You see more of the scoping mechanism than you see the true adjusting of the loss. You still have carriers that want you to do all of that. As you get into commercial and other things, high net worth, those things, you're handling the full assignment. You just don't. A lot of the mainstream carriers that are doing bulk are getting away more and more task assignment.
Gotcha. So then it's from a practical sort of standpoint, like when somebody's looking at starting a career as an adjuster these days, like what are their options? What's maybe the entree into getting themselves into a career where it gets to the point where it's stable and they're actually making enough money to where it makes it worth it.
So basically, where do you start? Is that kind of...
Yeah, and where can they go? Like maybe in the first year, 18 months, 24 months.
So the first thing, I make a decision. I want to be an adjuster.
Right.
Make sure you make the decision for the right reasons. Am I wanting to be an adjuster as a career? Do I want to have longevity with this, or am I trying to make a quick buck? And we've talked about in the past. You have people that get into the field and they're in it for the money, and that's great and all, but at the end of the day, are you really honing your craft and being an adjuster, or are you just in it for the buck? And those people tend to fall. They don't do well in the business. So once you decide what the career path you want, then decide, hey, do I want to be a field guy? Do I want to work in the desk? Do I want to work in property and casualty? Do I want to work in workers' comp? Do I want to work in life and health? There's a lot of different areas in which you can hone expertise and do very well. Aircraft, you don't ever hear about it, but they're always needed.
Right.
And there's not very many people who do it. Heavy machinery is all, they're out there. When we talk about commercial auto, we could be talking trucks or fleets of vehicles. And so there's niches there. Excuse me. So we look at, what do you want to do? And then, do I want to be an outside adjuster? I want to work in the field. And understand, if you're an outside adjuster, you still have desk work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, or do I want to be, do I want to work in the desk? And then after I've been in it for, I would think you would have been maybe 5 to 7 years. Do I want to get into file review? Do I want to get into management? And what does it take to succeed? And what else do I need to do? And then once I make kind of a path that I want to go, I want to get trained. I want to get licensed, and seek out companies that will spend time with you, not only just to get you licensed, because honestly, you can get a license anywhere, anytime. It's the companies that spend and show you how to write an estimate, how to start working the craft, that are the ones that are making the most successful adjusters. So if you show them, you may not be an xactimate expert or a software expert, but if you get them in touch and push them to that right way. So once I get trained or start the training, that's just the beginning. That's not the jump off. I'm an adjuster now, then I'm trained and I'm ready to go. No, it's a starting point. And so once you get trained, then you start networking and finding other adjusters who have been in the business for a while. That's sometimes a difficult step. I'm, affiliated with NACA, so we're a huge network organization. So get affiliated with other networking organizations. Find a way to network with people. It's good to have a group that are at the same experience level, but then you're looking for partnering with people that have way more experience than you. And so you want to start shadowing those groups and see if you can travel and ride along with them. Make them, you look at people saying, hey, you need to be a mentor. Yeah, you can make people be a mentor. It's kind of being a pest, but hey, if you're showing,
right.
I have the drive, I want to make this happen, that works. And so, people will take you under the wing. If you show the initiative and drive, people will take you under their wing. Yeah. I do it all the time. Still, I till this day, okay, yeah, let me help you. And that makes you successful. And so then you're getting the drive, and you start finding they'll get you in touch with IA firms if you're going that route, or you may, and IA firms will hire you as a 1099, temporary W-2 or W-2. They run the gamut. You just decide what work course you're going in. And so, you can start off as a desk adjuster doing minimal task as a start. There's nothing wrong with that. Get training, and if you decide to work for a company, again, you're going to get more training. You can never have enough training.
Yeah.
So
for sure. So what do you think about sometimes on social media, you'll see people say, hey, I just got my license and I'm really excited about becoming an adjuster. And then they want to go, they'll say things like, I live in X city and I'm looking for somebody within 10 minutes of me to do a ride along with.
Yeah, that's not realistic. So I guess another thing is...
So that along with, what do you feel about the ride along alone as like people putting that on their resume?
So, if somebody is ridden along, working one claim or working for a day with an adjuster is really not going to get you what you need. When you look at, remember the old apprentice programs that you used to see in trades?
Yeah.
When I started in the business, the only way to advance was to do that. And so you had to ride along with somebody, or you looked for a senior adjuster to help train you. And there were programs through some of the IGAB, others that had this, that would kind of force their senior adjusters to mentor or just ride along and teach younger adjusters. And you don't see that much anymore. There's a lot of companies out there that try to foster it. It's just not as prevalent as it used to be.
Sure.
And so the next best step to that is, again, getting with a group of people. You don't travel in groups of hundreds. You travel in groups of 5 to 10. And generally, you guys may all work for the same company. A couple of you may work for different companies in that process, but you're also, you're all supporting each other. And that is one of the best ways to network yourself. You're getting in with other IAs. You're becoming very astute at what the process is, and understand that every company does adjusting differently. So you have to be adaptive. And so one of the biggest mistakes of new adjusters is, this is the way I was taught. Well, you're taught in a general term, not in this is the same thing for everything.
Right.
And so you have to learn to be able to adapt to that. And if you can't adapt, it's kind of a short-lived career.
Want to know how the dream of working from home could actually be a nightmare? Watch this video right here.